You're the kind of person who will carry 6 heavy grocery bags up 3 flights of stairs, hands shaking, just so you don't have to ask anyone to hold the door. If someone offers help, your reflex is immediate. "Oh no, I got it." You smile. You might even laugh. But inside, asking for a favor feels like a threat. It feels like it's becoming a burden. You draft a text asking a friend for a small favor, stare at the screen, and then backspace the entire thing. You are the friend who is always there with a lifeline when someone else is drowning. But when the water is rising around your own neck, you don't make a sound. You just learn to hold your breath longer. Society calls you a survivor. They look at you and say, "You really have it all together." But here is the devastating contradiction. You built a life where you never need anyone, and now you are suffocating from the loneliness of it. You aren't just independent. Stop calling it a superpower. It is a trauma response. In behavioral psychology, this is counter-dependency. It happens when your nervous system learns early in childhood that relying on people leads to pain. Maybe your parents were emotionally absent. Maybe you asked for help as a kid and were made to feel dramatic or stupid. Your developing brain recorded a brutal survival rule. To survive in this unpredictable world, I can only depend on myself. Your amygdala wired itself to view reliance as a life-threatening vulnerability. Watch how this infects your life today. Look at work. You stay up until 2 a.m. redoing a colleague's presentation because it's just faster if I do it myself. You physically cannot delegate because your nervous system doesn't believe anyone else is capable of catching the ball. In your romantic relationships, you turn connection into a one-way street where you are the provider and the rock. If you get sick, you isolate in the bedroom. If you have a terrible day, you process it alone in your parked car before walking inside. Even receiving a compliment makes your skin crawl because you immediately calculate what you owe them. I know the quiet, suffocating weight of being the strong friend. You are holding the entire sky up, terrified that if you drop your arms for a single second, everything will crash. But let's be brutally honest. You don't avoid asking for help because you're strong. You avoid it because asking for help exposes that you are not actually in control. You are terrified of the vulnerability that comes with surrender. You wrap this trauma in the aesthetic of the lone wolf to make the isolation feel like a choice. It isn't. Hyper-independence is just the frightened child inside of you, building a fortress so thick that no one can ever get in to hurt you again. But the fortress keeping the pain out is also starving you of love. So, ask yourself a terrifying question. Do not skip past this. If you put down the armor today, let yourself be soft, and simply admit you were in need, who are you actually afraid will let you down? This is just one way your nervous system tricks you into isolation. But there's a darker layer to why you constantly attract people who take from you while you ask for absolutely nothing. We need to talk about that pattern next. I'm Void, and if this hit harder than you expected, you already know why you should be here for the next one.